Hey everybody, we just got done watching Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie. It literally just ended. It's Black Friday. And what did you think, Marlon? Hey
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, all these years later, Hey Arnold, I just remember when it ended. I mean, I used to grow up watching Hey Arnold all the time. It was like that and Rugrats
Really good show.
were my two favorite Nicktoons shows. Going on in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, I definitely used to watch it a lot, but Hey Arnold, unfortunately, just... I haven't watched it, like... I've seen, like, a few episodes this past year, but I haven't really, like, a lot of it I kind of forgot, because it's been so long. But when I started rewatching the movie, a lot of things started coming back to me, like, oh, I kind of remember that, and, I remember stuff like that. And finally, after all these years, we get to find the answer about what happened to Arnold's parents, because the way the show ended, it was one big cock tease, and Arnold never got his, happy ending. We were just left on a fucking cliffhanger. Like, another example of a terrible cliffhanger was in Teen Titans, which we still have not gotten answers to. Never found out what happened with the ending cliffhanger to that show, but you know what?
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
They'll come back and make a TV movie and finish it.
That's what I'm
Maybe
thinking.
have a final battle with Slade and Tara and all them.
Yeah, but, that's another show. But, like, this is Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie. I mean, all these years later, we're finally getting closure to all this, and I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, some of it, not all the humor lands, obviously, but a lot of it was pretty funny, and, like, it definitely took me back, and it felt good to be watching Hey Arnold again. A new Hey Arnold.
Yeah,
product.
they got it right in terms of the feel, the music's all there. They kind of update some things. It's not ridiculous where
It's not like Hey Arnold the movie.
they're not like using iPhones and there is subtle
changes, like
Big
Beeper
Bob's
Bob,
beeper store closing down.
because they're obsolete at this point, but not really.
Yeah,
That's a key plot point.
they use some beepers to, but it was really good.
Let's go over the plot of this
It
movie.
was it was I can't say it was bad. It's just like because the earlier Hey Arnold episodes were like it was always like finding some kind of like positive out of like a negative. Remember the one where they're all trapped in the subway?
Can't think of.
And then they all sing that. Then the homeless man gets them all to sing that song, and finally the subway gets back. Yeah.
All right.
Like that. There were also episodes that were always kind of like a bummer. Like there was the one where there was like Parents' Day, and Bob is like super competitive, and Helga like realizes that Bob's being a real jerk because Arnold he refers to him as an orphan boy. Remember that? He's like, I don't care about some orphan boy. Like, so there's some really good episodes, like, or the Christmas one where.
Oh, he finds the one guy's parents.
Well, yeah, because
the one guy's daughter.
Mr. Wynn's daughter.
Mr. Wynn.
But the only reason, I guess there was some sort of fee with money, and Arnold didn't have the money.
And then Helga.
And Helga was gonna. Helga's parents. Like the show used to be so serious, but then it became this running gag where Helga's parents neglect her. Then it became serious again with that origin episode.
Yeah, the origin episode's great.
Yeah, and then now it's a gag that they just neglect her. So again, there was a really cool episode where they basically bought her off with those boots, and she got those Nancy whatever boots, and then she realized that she doesn't need them because Arnold. I think she got the money from the boots to give to that guy so he could locate Mr. Wynn's daughter. So there was some really really good writing there. And I kind of was hoping that this movie would go back to those earlier Hey Arnold days where it was a little bit more, maybe a little bit more reality to it. Like, but they definitely went in a more ridiculous route because there were episodes where I as a kid, like, remember the one with the flood? I was like, okay, there's no way a city could get that bad. Well, apparently I was wrong. If you look at what happened in
was it Houston this past year?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, like, stuff like that. But anyways, let's go over the plot of this movie. I mean, Hey Arnold's a great show, regardless. The first Hey Arnold movie kind of sucks. But
yeah,
they do reference that a bit in this movie, where Arnold's like, I wasn't ready for that.
Well, Helga, like...
let's go a little bit spoiler-free, and then we'll do full spoilers, because, just in case someone's curious about the movie.
Well, if you've seen the trailer, you'll know Helga when, like, Arnold will touch her shoulder, she, like, freaks out, and then Arnold and Gerald, like, look at each other like, So, but they don't address it because Well, remember the way things were left in the movie? Like, Helga confesses, and then afterward, Helga's like, oh, about what happened back there. What I really meant to say was, and Arnold's like, you hate me? And she's like, yeah, that's what I totally meant. So they sort of, like, let it go.
Because they're like, oh, let's get back to square one.
Yeah, exactly. They just kind of sort of just say, they just sort of forget about it. So...
Mm-hmm. In this movie, basically what happens is Arnold is, at the very beginning of the movie, well, a rough plot, Arnold goes to the jungle on a class field trip, and then vicariously he's trying to find his parents, and they come across a bad guy, a very obvious bad guy, which I'm like, oh my god, this is like the most obvious twist in, TV history. I'm like, gee, I wonder who the bad guy is. Oh no, I totally did not see this coming. Actually, I did. It was pretty obvious. But anyway, so they go to the jungle. Arnold tries to find his parents, and then so on and so forth. We definitely, like, a lot of the characters, I forgot some of their names because it's been a while since I sat down and watched, like, all of Hey Arnold. And a lot of things I kind of forgot about. But, the beginning of the movie is kind of a refresher for those who are fans. We get, Harold, Phoebe, Gerald. I'm trying to think. Sid. Rhonda. Just kind of just a bit of everybody. Their teacher. And we actually find out Arnold's name. I don't think they said it in the show. What was his name? Arnold Shortman?
Oh, yeah, because he always calls him Shortman, so...
Yeah, I guess Arnold's name is Shortman.
His last name is Shortman, Arnold Shortman, okay.
But anyways, I kind of want to talk about everything, but just if you're a fan of Hey Arnold, you're definitely going to appreciate this movie. There is some funny stuff in here.
There's some stuff that gets ruined a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll get to that in this spoilers. But anyways, spoilers from this point on. Like I said, I didn't want to give everything away in case someone hasn't seen it. But if you're a Hey Arnold fan, you should definitely check it out. I mean, it's closure. I mean, could it have been better? Absolutely. But it felt definitely like
it's good overall.
Like that time period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got the feel of it right.
But anyways, on to the spoilers for the movie. So, Arnold goes to the jungle. He comes across this guy named Ricardo, who's actually this evil pirate in disguise. And I'm sitting there watching the movie. I'm like, this guy is so obviously the villain. I mean, it's like, come on. It's like, it was a terrible twist. The only thing it does is you just like, aha, I got my mustache on and off. So,
see, the guy wants a treasure. He's like a thief, and
a lot of people die in this movie, by the way.
There's a golden. None of the main characters die.
Yeah, but a lot of the bad guys, there's I don't know,
there's
20
a bunch. There's like a bunch of henchmen that sort of get killed off.
And then Ricardo, who's also this pirate in disguise, and then Arnold goes.
And it's cartoon violence, so it's not too bad. But you get the idea that they actually get killed.
Yeah, a lot of people die. So surprisingly, in this movie, I wasn't expecting that. There's a part where they pull out machetes and start fighting each other. I mean, this is.
There were certain things that they didn't. They didn't explain. They made it out to be because it was like a legend. I guess when Arnold was born, there was a volcano.
And he was born in the volcano, so he's like.
And he was born during the volcano, and the volcano didn't erupt. So it's more of just like a legendary thing.
And then he has this little piece that guides him to his parents and stuff.
So the guy purposely, what was his? La Sombra purposely gives him this key so he can read the map, and they let him escape, so they can follow him to this hidden city of the green-eyed people. So they get there, and they're all praising Arnold because Arnold's parents brought these people a cure for an illness.
Like a sleeping disease where you just go into a permanent sleep, like Sleeping Beauty, basically.
Yeah.
And basically they need a cure to wake them up. And Arnold eventually, the cure, he was in this chest. He needed this piece of gold to distribute it across. Kind of like if you've seen the Amazing Spider-Man, that cloud disbursement device that they use to cure people of their lizardness. That's kind of what they use here. And then the evil bad guy falls off a cliff at one point, and he pretty much dies right then and there. But he took the treasure chest with him, and then it's basically up to Helga. Helga has her own Arnold heck. I know she has a shrine, but she has a whole video thing, her own little bat cave full of nothing but videotapes of Arnold, and she's just letting random people in. And throughout the thing, Helga's like, "Oh, I don't like Arnold," and then everyone's kind of just "Yeah, we know you do." It's don't even try to hide it anymore, Helga. So anyways,
yeah,
she uses her little locket that she had of Arnold.
See, there's some things in this movie that don't work. So Gerald confronts Arnold about this piece that La Sombra gives Arnold before he reveals himself, because La Sombra is pretending to be
Ricardo, who's a friend of the parents.
Eduardo, right?
Or Eduardo?
Yeah,
Why-
Eduardo. See, Eduardo knew
Ricardo.
Arnold's parents, so this guy was posing as Eduardo. So La Sombra gives Arnold this piece, this key, and he doesn't tell any of his he doesn't tell anybody about it, and the real reason why they're what they're doing, and the real reason for the trip, and Gerald tries kind of lightly, like, so what's going on? He's like, you're hiding something. He's like, I can't really tell you. And so Gerald's all like offended because
you didn't tell me every single secret. I understand they're friends. They do their woo woo woo, But I mean, Arnold was just like, he's just trying to find his parents, man. Just sometimes, even like when I'm with some of my friends, like if they're not going to tell me something, I'm like, you know what? You don't have to tell me everything.
So it doesn't make sense to even because what Arnold did wasn't even that bad. And then there's a scene where Arnold's alone on top of the little watchtower on the boat, and Helga goes up to talk to him, and she tries to reveal
again. Because he did in the movie, but then Helga tries like, "I love you," and Arnold's
like,
it's
even fun. But this is actually really funny. She's about to say that she's like, I might say that I like you, that I like you. And then like, she's like, Arnold goes, hold on, wait, there's a boat coming, and she screams her head off. But in the trailer, like, she rips up that picture and like throws it in the water.
And then Brainy goes after it.
Yeah, I thought like Arnold would have like rejected her. Like, I seriously thought like Helga would have like had her heart broken or something, and she would have been like really really sad, and like she would have realized like she didn't need Arnold. And I think the movie could have been a little bit more interesting in that respect, but in a lot of ways we've always kind of wanted to see them.
Yeah, it's like that could have been a more bold direction, but at the same time, it's like you kind of feel for Helga. I mean, Helga was always like.
But what I like about so opening up that plot device of her being mad at Arnold because he like interrupted her was really really pointless. Like it kind of like took you away from what was the focus, which was finding Arnold's parents. Because there's something to be mad about. Like they try to stir up some drama for the sake of stirring up some drama. So they try to make Arnold look bad. I'm talking about La Sombra. He tries to tell all the kids, and he twists the story around.
Who's Eduardo in disguise?
He's Eduardo in disguise. He tries to twist the story around and make Arnold look bad, and all the kids kind of turn on him in that moment, including Helga, of course Gerald, because of what happened before. So then. Arnold is feeling really sad. He's in his own private cell. He's alone. He's vulnerable. He's crying. And then Helga realizes that like, I should have been there for him, because Helga screws everything up.
Yeah, and then like Helga is.
She always starts something really great, and then she's her own worst enemy.
She's always her own worst enemy. Except when it comes to her parents.
The next thing that happens is.
So they go there. They go to this like. Eduardo or La Sombra or whatever the hell his name is, really. They go to this place where the kids' class trip was, and it's revealed that he takes off the mustache. He's like, "Aha, I am the bad guy," and I'm sitting there like, Jesus.
Yeah, he already revealed that.
And it's the worst. It's one of the worst.
Pretty obvious.
It's the most obvious twist I've ever seen.
So eventually, Arnold escapes
with Helga and
Gerald.
They go to the green.
The other kids form really a plan to sort of escape themselves. They also signal home. They call home. Bob, Miriam, Gertrude, Arnold's grandma and grandpa, Steely Phil, they all go to rescue Arnold. And what winds up happening is they get there, and of course Arnold's up the mountain. And La Sombra purposely allows Arnold to escape because he put a tracking device on this magic little
thing that allows them to reveal the map and stuff.
So they go up there, they escape some booby traps, it's fun. They have a Temple of Doom fight on a wooden bridge.
Say hi to Kali for me,
It literally has the same thing. Gerald and Helga are hanging on the bridge. They open up this little box that reveals this thing called the Core Zone. How do they find that box? Well, Arnold goes and meets the Green-Eyed People, which
is a bunch of children.
They're a bunch of children. They're this tribe. And La Sombra shows up. They steal the box. Only Arnold can open it. So at the bridge, again, the Temple of Doom situation happens. They open the box, and they find the golden heart. And as Sombra's trying to grab the heart, a dart shoots out.
Him right in the head. I'm like, Jesus, this is pretty graphic. And then he like falls off.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think he's dead, and then he's not. But the real Eduardo shows up, the real one, explains what happens. They have a talk. Somehow Sombra comes back. He literally comes back, climbs up the cliff. They have a fight, and then the poison wears to him. He dies. Great.
A lot of people die in this movie, surprisingly.
That's what I'm saying, is that they write this, like, some people get killed, literally. They even use the word kill at one point.
They pull out machetes and start fighting each other at one point.
And what's funny is that, like, if they're going to make, sort of more of a violent show, I think they could have written it
a little more edgier.
Well, yeah, it's funny, it's Hey Arnold, but I think this whole idea of Arnold's parents being asleep, because Arnold finds his parents. He finds out where they say, "We'll show you where they lie." I figured it would be like their grave.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, maybe they've actually died, and what Hey Arnold would find out. Well, what did they die of? And maybe they died saving the children of the tribe or something amazing. No, it's just that they're asleep. Yeah. The sleep sickness. And it's kind of like...
the whole thing infected the whole village.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good.
Yeah, because I'm like, I understand what you mean. Like, it would have been a little bit edgy. Like, it would have been a more tragic thing. But at the same time, like, it's been like 15 years since...
Well, that's what I meant by earlier when I brought up the earlier episodes.
Yeah, they haven't been...
If Arnold's parents haven't come home in, like, almost 10 years, then they're probably not alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by, like, the earlier episodes were a little bit more real, I think. But it's not bad. It's just that I would have liked a little bit of that. They did do some pretty good stuff with the writing, I think.
Mm-hmm. Helga got her moment.
Helga. What happens is because the heart is gone.
To unlock this thing that disperses the same cloud disbursement device they used in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Helga uses her
locket.
Her locket
in place of this heart that was in the.
Well, it's gold plated, and it's a nice symbol because so there's a lot of really good stuff. It's really well written, and then there's some stuff they just sort of throw in there, and this whole idea that So really, it's about the journey. I think not what the award is at the end. I think it would have been a lot better, if they went the route of you can't. Just by the trailer, I thought that they were showing that like Helga maybe Arnold was going to break her heart.
And she does go in like that depressed state for a little bit.
It's almost, but he didn't say I don't like you. He just interrupted her.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just says, "Wait, there's a boat."
Yeah, like they could have done.
He just didn't like. So I think it's kind of weird. So finally, though, they use her locket. She lives, and the parents, everybody come back to life, and there's a great moment where Helga tries to steal her locket back because they're not going to need it anymore, and Arnold catches her, and then finally Arnold. So they do have that moment, and it's really, really good. Like it's probably the best moment in the whole film. Like.
All these years later, all this build-up, Arnold finally gives Helga kind of what she wants a bit.
Because again, they follow up what happened in the last movie. He says, I think you've been mean to me primarily because you actually like me. And then he goes, no, really, seriously. And they have this real talk moment, it's great. And Arnold actually, just like in Hitch, he goes 90%. And then she comes 10, and it's so great. And they kiss, and it's like a moment where everybody, if this was in a theater, everybody could start applauding.
And then,
goddamn Gerald is like, I'm like, he ruined that scene. Like they
Gerald with the cockblock.
God damn,
Arnold would
Gerald.
interrupt him when it was Phoebe.
Oh, Arnold would never. Arnold would probably just smirk and then probably say to himself, it's about time, and then walk away.
Gerald just ruins it.
Gerald had to,
It should have been one where no one else shows up.
Nobody else. This is the biggest injustice to this movie. I mean, it's like,
They had their moment, and it was great.
God.
But they should not have had Gerald show up. I mean...
So then they almost pulled the whole rug underneath the whole audience. I was so pissed.
Oh my god!
For a second I was like, whoever wrote this movie is a piece of shit, because the next thing I have, Arnold wakes up,
and it mirrors the
and it mirrors the very first scene of the film, and it's like
where Arnold's like sad because his parents aren't there, and you see everyone. It's like the exact same thing. They have Oscar there. They have
Ernie,
Mr. Wynn. And,
I would have so.
And it was just like Arnold was like sad because he's thinking, "Oh my God, that was just a dream." And I'm like, if they pull this off, I will simultaneously be really pissed, but think it's one of the funniest trolls of all time. And then Arnold's parents show up, and
they're like,
like,
"You still have that dream where you're thinking you never found us when you really did?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's so not funny." Like,
they played with your emotions.
It's not funny to do that. And then finally, Gerald and Arnold go to school, and then there's a moment where
Phoebe,
Helga, and
Phoebe are walking, and Gerald.
Phoebe and Gerald hold hands, and then Helga and Arnold are about to. And Helga says, "Who said you could touch me?" And it's like,
back to square one.
I don't know where their relationship is. Like, I don't know if they're actually gonna be
a thing.
Like, Lila and Arnold. And what I liked about that scene, though, was Arnold's like, he's like, well, all this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you, Helga, because Helga, you made the video. You gave me your...
so many things.
She did all these things because, of course, she likes Arnold, and it's so great. But, my God, like, why would they end it still, like, on that, like, no, because I kind of thought, like, now things are going to be real. She doesn't have to be mean anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, so there's some really good stuff.
There's some things.
And there's some stuff that's like, it's like they wanted to like keep it going. Like they didn't want to really conclude the story. Like
it
like
does
in a
wrap
way,
up where he finally gets his parents, and they like you're like.
And the parents even like we miss you already. Like can we come to school with you? And they're like, all right. And they have a little joke where it's like I'll be meet me right out here at 3:30.
You know, can you imagine if there was another episode and Arnold's parents disappeared again and never showed up after 3:30?
Yeah, like, I mean, that's the problem with this movie is I think, like, there should have been some time spent with Arnold's parents.
Yeah, because Arnold doesn't really, like, interact with his parents at all. He never really talks or has a conversation with them. They're like, they wake up and they're like, hey, Arnold, and that's it.
And then they all live in Arnold's
I felt like there should have been, like, one of those quiet moments where it's kind of you hear a bit of that, like, musical score, maybe like a piano or something.
Yeah, I think this movie, they didn't, I thought they were going to be a little bit more, there's going to be a little more heart to it. Mm-hmm. And they sort of went this more comedic route. And
there's moments
I mean, obviously this movie can't really be aimed at.
Well, it's for mainly Hey Arnold fans who grew up with the show.
Yeah,
too.
I don't really think that there's a whole lot of 10-year-olds watching. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, maybe there are a lot of younger people who caught up with it, and that's great. And at the same time, I think that it's kind of silly that that they didn't, I guess make something a little more serious. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, because like the audience is kind of grown up, but you could have. I mean, you still got to have it make it feel like the old stuff, but you do have to have there should be a little bit more grown up stuff, I guess, for like audience who's grown with it over the years. Because I've seen that with a lot of shows.
Well, that's what I mean, but it was just a little too serious, or I mean, a little too silly, not serious enough.
And I understand that because like the show had its silly bits, but like I felt like there should have been more moments where it was there should have been some quieter moments where Arnold really interacts with his parents. Let the scene play out a bit and don't kind of like rush it. Like, because when he gets to his parents and he finally they wake up, it definitely does feel rushed. Or like the whole Arnold and Helga scene, that scene was going terrific, but motherfucking Gerald ruins it, and it's just it's 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's nothing in this movie that can stay serious.
It should have been like nobody else should have been there. It should have been just those two alone, and then she kind of smiles at him, then he kind of smiles, maybe they hold hands and just kind of walk off, and then you can cut it from, and then they're they all come together. That would have been better than Gerald just going, I ruined it again. Time for the Gerald cock block. God damn you, Gerald. I mean, I like Gerald just fine, but man.
That son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch, Gerald. But yeah, and there's also some moments with some of the. I mean, we didn't really talk about the other characters. I mean, the other.
Obviously, the best part in the movie was the conversation between Helga and Arnold.
and then she screams. That scream was funny.
And then but I'm talking about the moment of it. Still, I can't believe with Gerald. I can't believe they did that. Like you thought that they would have learned their lesson from. Why do you have to go? Why he didn't? Oh.
You know what? It reminds me of Billy Madison, where he's like, "You blew it."
They took that perfect moment, like you're brought in this perfect crescendo.
All these years of build up,
and there's this moment, and it's so intimate and so sweet, and then Gerald's come along and kick that delicate moment right in the nuts. Like, I mean, just right in the crotch.
Fucking Gerald. Oh yeah, I mean, god damn it, yeah, Gerald.
No, I mean it's good. It's good.
It was almost there.
It's good enough.
It was 70% there.
Whatever. They get a
pass for me.
They get a.
I had fun
it's definitely
watching
worth watching. You'll have fun with it, but there's gonna be some moments there where you're gonna like that. That's gonna piss you off.
Yeah, like things I didn't like. The villain reveal was so obvious. It was kind of sad actually. That Helga moment with Arnold was pretty much almost ruined completely by Gerald because they actually had the moment, but like it should have played out. It was like 70% there, and then that other 30% was Gerald coming in and ruining it. And I'm trying to think what else. There's still some funny moments with the kids in the background, like Harold. My favorites were always like Helga and fucking Harold. Just every time Harold cried.
Everybody got to kind of have their moments. Rhonda's pretty funny.
The bug
when they snap the phone. Oh yeah.
You know what?
I can't remember her name right now.
Curly is just crazy. And you know, just bits like that. Eugene turns into like there's a perfectly
Francine was with the bugs and like I'm in heaven. She's like grabbing all the bugs and collecting all the bugs.
And controlling them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's moment. Yeah, it's good. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to say.
It's pretty solid. It's just.
Oh, Monkey Man's in this.
Yeah, they do something funny with Monkey Man.
And they also they find a way to kind of like go through like a clip show of it where like Helga has been secretly recording Arnold every day, pretty much every episode, the storyline that happens, and they like have like a humanitarian theme dedicated to him, which ultimately gets them in that fake contest with Mr. Simmons and all that. So, but yeah, I would actually like to see the show continue, but like if it doesn't, you know what? At least we got closure to the Arnold parent storyline stuff.
Hate Gerald.
Wait, you gotta do the handshake.
I don't even know how they do it.
No, they go.
You have to do it for me.
You're gonna go boom, boom, and they do the thumb. It's dun, dun.
All right. Anyways, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're a Hey Arnold fan, go check it out. I'm sure at this point you've already watched it.
Screw you, Gerald.
Screw you, Gerald. I guess that's the moral of it. I kind of want Hey Arnold to continue some more. So, but yeah, Hey Arnold the Jungle Movie. As fans of the show, growing up watching it, I was satisfied with it. It's definitely a lot better than the Hey Arnold movie, which isn't very good. But yeah, Arnold finally got his parents, and you know what? I'm happy for Arnold. He deserves it. I mean, oftentimes I don't know, it's like lately I've been wanting to see a lot of people have their happier endings. But like, sometimes they're just like, no, do something bold. But like, this time I'm like, you know what, Arnold, you deserve your happy ending. You've been kind to pretty much everyone. Helga deserved her moments. Even though it would have been interesting if Helga finally just like, you know what, I don't have to live my life, in pursuit of Arnold. Like, I don't have to be that person anymore. You know what I mean?
The way that ends is like, if she finally got what she wanted, and it's almost like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Back to square one.
That's what I don't understand. Like Arnold's like gonna hold her hand. She's like, "You said you can touch me," and she's being all bitchy, and then she's all like, "Oh," and it's like,
just
my God, Helga, you finally got what you wanted, and now you're still acting like a bitch. Come on, come on.
Yeah,
Come on, it's time.
All right, but anyways, that was that, and thanks for watching, everybody.